Not sure what this title could mean in terms of what this movie's about. So let's find out with the IMDb plot to start, and then we'll get into this one. In order to escape police after a robbery, two estranged siblings lay low in a farmhouse that hides them away in a different time. There, they reckon with a mysterious force that pushes their familiar bonds to an unnatural breaking points. Okay. Interesting. Um, all right. To start off here, new film coming out. This I got a screener for this one, so I'll let you guys know that. So we'll try to keep this fairly spoiler free, and I guess there are some twists and turns here. So I definitely let you guys figure those things out and try to save some stuff for you guys. Um, I believe I have a press release for this one, so I'll try to include that in the bottom. So you guys can visit that link and get more information about the film there if you guys are interested. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. You have a brother and sister who, as the movie kind of starts, it's really not about the robbery. You don't get to see a whole lot. Basically, it's kind of the after of what they just did, and they kind of meet up at a diner, and from there, they make a quick trip over to this farmhouse. Um, they go inside. They kind of looking around. Uh, Trying to figure things out. They're looking for some specific stuff in here to figure out in a weird way how to get to this other time. Um, you hear the police sirens coming, so they get a little anxious. They build the drama a little bit, uh, but eventually they go through this door, and which takes them to this farmhouse again, but in a different time. Um, I forgot specifically when they say it is, but whatever. It's basically a time where they're not being searched after for this robbery. Uh, but it is also weird. It is becomes a little weird because um, they're there, they're in their own time. There's no one else around. It's kind of like almost a different reality, and it kind of is, even though it's supposed to be a different time. Um, they never try to leave the house. Well, actually, they do, or one of them does, I should say. Um, but it's not like they try to go and stay in this other time, live in this other time. Um, and there's reasons for that, and I guess what happens here is um, they're supposed to stay there for a little bit of time before going back, but they find out that going back through the door is not as easy as how they came through the door. And then you get filled in a little bit about, I think it's the brother who basically knew about this door, found out about it, and so forth. So you find out a little bit about how he found out. But it is a little bit more challenging for them to go back through it. They're supposed to wait a little bit there before they go back, and when they go back, they're supposed to go back to a time where they're safe from the police, and they can take their money back, and they'll be rich and they'll be fine, and nobody will know different. Uh, but unfortunately, going back again, like I said, is the challenge here, and that's where in the summary there it said a mysterious force and blah blah blah. I don't want to get too much into that, but I'll just say that basically they have to do a certain thing or two before they can go back to this door, um, and yeah, and then. Um, I don't want to speak too much about that force and what they have to do and whatever, because that kind of gets into the spoiler territory of it. But I guess, um, what else I can say about it is as they're there, um, obviously you're going to learn a little bit more about the brother, a little bit more about the sister, a little bit more about their relationship in the past, why they might have been a little bit more apart, from some family drama that they've had and so forth. And the sister has a daughter, and that's one of the real reasons that she wants to get back. Obviously, with the money, she needs the money, with her daughter there. But she wants to get back, to see her daughter again. Her daughter's, a little bit older, but, she wants to get back, obviously, for her. So you learn a little bit, about each of them, about, their struggles, apart together, their family, and, really why they want to get back, of course. And of course, you want to go back to your normal time here. This is a weird place and a weird time, and so forth. So yeah, so you get a lot of that kind of tension between the two. You get some arguments between the two. Obviously, frustration with wanting to get back but can't go back. Um, and then even with what they're tasked to do or how they're going to get back, that doesn't do their relationship any good. I think at the end of the day they're like many brothers and sisters. They do love each other, and will fight for each other and do what's needed for each other. Um, but also, there's also, like it says, that there's issues between them, and they're going to fight along the way. So that's kind of what's happening here. So interesting that we've kind of had, this is not necessarily a time loop movie to say. We've had a couple of those over the last couple of years. I believe I've done a review for one earlier this year, not too long ago, and another one maybe the year before or 2 years before that. Those are more really time loop where you saw them kind of going around and around. This one, they're in another dimension or another time, so you don't really see them going around and around and around, but they are in another time. So it's kind of similar, but maybe not as repetitive, I should say. Um, so it is, this is kind of got that sci-fi element to it. Definitely a little mysterious. I'm trying to see what I can say, kind of about the end or where it goes. There's a little bit of mystery to it. It does get a little bit weird. It will kind of open up, and you will kind of get more details about what's going on here. I guess the whole thing in itself, when you find out kind of what's going on, it's a little bit odd, a little bit strange. Um, and I think overall, everything's kind of sad. You see the fighting between the two brothers and sisters, and how that kind of goes, and how it's always been apparently for them for a long time. So there's a sadness to the movie as well, and I guess it builds. You just gonna have to kind of get through it a little bit, get through their fighting, and they're going through their issues, till you really get to more of the tension and suspense. When they're really getting to the point of trying to figure out how to get through this door, and what they need to get through it. And then a little bit more of that tension and that suspense will build. There will finally be a little bit more action, because it's not a huge action movie and film, for the most part, until you get towards that back half. So you will get a little bit more going on there towards the end. But I don't know, I just kind of think about the story itself, and you have obviously the brother and sister, and the fighting and whatever, but just what eventually happens, it is a little bit strange, with what they come up for, as I guess the reason, or what's really going on in the back. There is a good twist kind of in there. they never really get into that twist. Um, which I would have maybe wanted to know a little bit more. What happened there, why. Um, it might become a little obvious to you guys, maybe not. I don't know. Trying to keep it very vague so not to spoil anything for you guys. Um, but then yeah, I guess the main thing that's going on here behind the scenes is a little weird and strange. I don't know. Um, but then I don't know, we'll leave it at that before I say anything I should. But yeah, I think the two actors and actress, the actor and actress here, that played the brother and sisters, they do a really good job. Obviously, the film is majority of them, um, so I think they did a really good job playing off each other, and hitting those stressful moments between the two and their relationship, playing the ups and playing the downs of it, and handling the stress of the situation, and then kind of the worst it got as they were there. Let's see, does it say an hour and 42 minutes? So yeah, not too bad. I don't think it didn't feel like it dragged out. It does just kind of take its time to kind of get into that real sci-fi element, get into that mysterious element. Obviously, they're going to go through the door early on, but still, once they're there, you spend some time kind of learning about them before seeing the weirdness of this door, and then really digging into trying to get out, and then that's when more of the action, more of the sci-fi element, and we figure out what's going on here happens. So I thought they did really good job of playing off each other, and handling everything that was needed from them. Yeah, so I guess if you're, I'm not going to say it's hugely it's not really, I don't think, hugely into anything here. It never really gets, too into the horror. It's not blood and guts or anything like that. There's a little bit of mystery, obviously, figuring out what's going on here and how they're going to get back through the door. There is a little bit of a sci-fi element, maybe a little bit more at play once you see how everything kind of turns out. It mentions thriller here. Yeah, I get that. Maybe maybe a little bit of drama as well. Between the two. So I don't think it goes big into any of these territories. Kind of put everything together into a nice film. So it is okay. It is really well done. The location's great. The house is pretty nice. It's out in the middle of nowhere. If it was a regular farmhouse, whatever, it'd probably be a nice place to be. But without all that weird door stuff and so forth. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna give it 2.5 pools of blood out of 5 at the end. Solid movie, good movie. Not anything spectacular either way. I think it's worth a watch. I think you guys enjoy it. And I think it is just what it is. Two good characters here. You learn their struggle and their battles together, and so forth. So yeah, that's 2.5 pools of blood out of 5 for this one. So with that, horrorstory.blogspot.com is where you're gonna find all of my reviews, written in video. Certainly mostly video reviews for a long time now. So feel free to like, subscribe, and do everything that everybody else wants to do here on YouTube. But if not, no worries, it is okay. I thank you for your time regardless. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well. Feel free to join me there. Talk horror, ask me to review something. And in the comments section, once you guys kind of check this film out, let me know what you guys thought. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? What did you think of the farmhouse? And if you want to reach out to me, feel free to do so down there as well. So yeah, and again, down below, I'll try to keep the press release for this one, so you guys can kind of check out more about when it comes out, to where you guys can catch it, and just any more information you want about it. So with that, I guess I'll catch you on the next review, horror fans.